Hey, you totally don't have to do it if you don't want to. Seriously, there's no pressure to introduce yourself to him if you're not feeling it. This is our call, not his.
I'm sorry, but it's important for me to take this step. If we're truly committed to getting married, I want to introduce myself to your parents beforehand. I know that your father can be strict, but it's a respectful gesture I should make if I want to become your husband.
Unfortunately, he's not just strict. He's a real challenge to have a conversation with.
I believe I'll be okay. After all, he doesn't know anything about me yet, right?
I've only mentioned to him that I have a boyfriend, because I haven't gone into detail about what kind of person you are. Lately, he's been getting on my nerves. He keeps prying into personal stuff about you, you know? I told him that you had to leave school to start working, and he lost it completely.
Oh, really? Why would he become furious?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. But like I said before, my dad's just a tough nut to crack when it comes to conversation.
I wonder if that's the issue. Maybe he's not happy about the fact that I didn't graduate high school. I've encountered that kind of judgment quite often. People tend to look down on me simply because I'm a high school dropout.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. He's the type who places a lot of emphasis on grades and accomplishments. Being the CEO of a company, those things hold significant value to him. I'm sorry if it's offensive to you in any way.
I can understand where he's coming from. I mean, he is the CEO of Zenith Enterprises, a major player in the business world. It makes sense that he might not be thrilled if someone like me asks to marry his daughter. But despite that, I really want to seek his blessing before we take the plunge. It just doesn't feel right to get married without talking to him first. I can't say for sure he'll like me, but it's something I feel compelled to do.
Well, you don't have to go through all that hassle. How about we just run off to some distant city and get married there? I mean, I left my parents' place because I could not stand my dad anymore. I'm itching to break free from him, you know? Once we're married, I'll finally make a clean break.
We can consider those options if he doesn't give me his permission to marry you. It's worth giving it a shot before completely giving up, right? We can't predict the future after all. There's a possibility he might end up liking me.
I highly doubt it, to be honest. Why do we have to play by all these rules anyway? We don't need his permission to get married, you know?
You know me so well, don't you? You're aware that I prefer to abide by societal norms whenever I can.
Yeah, I know your personality well. I just feel like trying to convince him is a waste of time. But if you're dead set on doing this, I'll talk to him and arrange a meeting. I'm pretty sure it's going to end badly, though, just saying. Remember, I did warn you about it.
Don't worry, I'll handle it. I'll go talk to him on my own. You can stay home, alright?
I appreciate your concerns, really. Just remember, he can be pretty intense with his words. It might get a little bit intimidating if you're not used to it.
Okay, thanks for the advice. I'll keep it in mind.
You miserable excuse for a human being. I swear on everything sacred, if I ever catch a glimpse of your sorry self in my house again, you'll regret it. You're nothing but a bottom-dwelling parasite, feeding off the scraps of decency. I wouldn't even wish to breathe the same air as your filthy existence. Right this damn instant, get the hell out of my house. Don't you dare test my patience any longer.
Wow, this is way worse than I anticipated. You're more aggressive than anyone I've ever met.
You're nothing but a worthless piece of trash. I can't believe I'm even bothering to waste my precious time talking to someone like you. I see right through your little game, you gold digger. I mean, just look at your greedy face, practically oozing with desperation for my money. It's crystal clear that the only reason you're interested in marrying my daughter is to get your grubby hands on my wealth. Talking to you makes me physically nauseous, right from the pit of my stomach.
Sir, please, try to relax and take a moment to compose yourself. There's honestly no reason for you to be so consumed by anger. I really have no interest in your money. I'm not a materialistic person, you know? My love for your daughter is sincere, and comes from the depths of my heart. That's the sole reason I wish to marry her.
Man, I am beyond disappointed in Natasha right now. I mean, seriously, she's actually with a high school dropout like you? You're scraping the absolute bottom of the barrel in our society. Where the hell is she anyway? I know damn well you've kidnapped her or something. Quit wasting my time and hand her over already.
I have not kidnapped her. She is living with me because she wants to. I decided to come here alone today because I didn't want her to worry about me. I wanted to talk to you, man to man.
Why on earth would I ever want to waste my precious time talking to someone like you? Your breath reeks so badly that it's literally suffocating me. I genuinely wish you would just shut up and keep that foul mouth of yours closed, because it's turning the whole damn house into a stink fest. Seriously, what the hell do you even eat every day? Do you chug from the sewage like it's your personal beverage dispenser, or what?
The insults just keep pouring in, don't they? I better grab my notepad and pen, because I definitely want to take notes on how to be a master of mockery. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll have the pleasure of using them on someone deserving.
Oh, quit with the smart aleck act already. You didn't even manage to graduate high school, for crying out loud. While you were out there slacking off, I've been busting my ass, dedicating my life to studying and achieving greatness. I've reached heights you could only dream of, graduating from a top-notch university. I've been climbing the corporate ladder at elite companies ever since, and guess what? I'm currently the CEO of Zenith Enterprises, in case you forgot.
Yes, I'm already aware of all that. Your company, Zenith Enterprises, has quite a reputation, and I've actually heard of it before as well.
Listen up, you low-life criminal. I've got an ironclad sense of justice coursing through my veins, and I won't stand idly by while scumbags like you threaten the safety of my family.
Hold on a moment. Let's take a step back here. I believe you're blowing things out of proportion. I assure you, I am not a criminal in any way. I really don't understand what you're trying to say.
Oh, please, spare me the innocent act. Maybe you're not a criminal at this very moment, but mark my words, you're destined to join their ranks sooner or later. I can practically read it on your face, those sneaky little expressions that scream, future criminal. Don't think for a second that you can fool me with your feeble attempts at innocence.
I'm really curious as to what kind of face I was making when I was talking to you. It's fascinating to think about what impression I might have unintentionally conveyed. In any case, I'm sorry if I did something to offend you in any way.
Oh, look at you, the epitome of ignorance. I can tell you've never bothered to crack open a book in your entire life. You're nothing more than a pathetic high school dropout, aren't you? I wouldn't be surprised if your own dim-witted parents were nothing but a bunch of incompetent criminals themselves, letting you abandon your education like it's some kind of joke. Any decent parent with two brain cells to rub together would never allow their child to make such a foolish decision. But hey, I guess you come from a long line of moronic lawbreakers.
Could you please refrain from discussing my parents in such a manner? My mother faced the challenging task of raising me single-handedly while battling an illness. I made the difficult decision to leave high school solely to support her financially, covering both her medical expenses and our daily living costs.
Wow, your family is desperately broke, aren't they? It's pretty obvious that your parents didn't bother saving any money. How irresponsible of them.
Are you seriously saying that? How could you say such a thing?
Your sob story is so tragic, it's laughable. You really think I'm going to feel sorry for you? Well, think again. I don't care how much you try to manipulate my emotions. I'm not going to hand over my precious daughter to a pathetic loser like you. No way. I have high standards, and I want my daughter to marry someone who's actually worth something. Clearly, you're just a lazy good-for-nothing who can't even take care of themselves, let alone provide for a family. So, save your pity party for someone who actually cares, because it's not going to work on me.
Did you really just refer to me as a lazy good-for-nothing? I've put in tremendous effort to reach the position I'm in today. I don't perceive myself as a failure in any way. Also, I'm serious. Don't insult my parents ever again. I hold a deep appreciation of my mother. And even if given the opportunity, I wouldn't want anyone else to have raised me.
That excuse is beyond weak, and it's definitely not going to cut it if you think you're worthy of marrying my daughter. Instead of wasting your breath with these pointless stories, why don't you actually contribute something meaningful to society? Maybe then we can have a conversation worth having. But until then, don't even bother trying to convince me of your worthiness. It's an absolute joke.
I guess it's pointless trying to have a normal conversation with you.
Oh, look at you, you pathetic leech. It's crystal clear that all you're after is my hard-earned cash, using my daughter as your golden ticket to a life of luxury. Well, newsflash, you delusional dropout, I would never even consider entrusting my precious daughter to a lowlife like you. Couldn't even finish high school. So, do us all a favor and get the hell out of here right this instant. Your presence is not only an insult, but it's also an utter waste of my valuable time. Scram, you worthless parasite.
Fine. I'll do as you say. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's right, you piece of trash.
Man, what is up with your dad? He's totally off his rocker.
Babe, this is exactly why I keep telling you not to bother seeing him. I tried so hard to get through to you, but you just wouldn't listen to a word I said.
I honestly didn't expect him to be such a horrible person. I've never met anyone as despicable as him before. Is he truly the CEO of a company? It's difficult to think that someone like him can hold any position of authority and expect to be respected.
Honestly, I feel like he's gotten even more arrogant and obnoxious since he climbed up the corporate ladder. So, tell me, what ended up happening after you had that encounter with him?
We couldn't even have a decent conversation. He was just constantly throwing insults my way, so I made the smart move and walked out. Screw all this drama. Let's just do what you suggested from the start and elope. It would have saved us so much trouble.
Yeah, we should have just done that from the start. Sometimes it's alright to bend the rules a little bit, especially when we're not doing anything illegal. It's a bummer, though. I had this tiny sliver of hope that against all odds you two would hit it off somehow. But hey, he's in for a real shocker when he finally discovers who you truly are. I can't wait to see the look on his face.
I had hoped that he would recognize me when I went to see him. But to my disappointment, he didn't even give me a chance to speak. He simply told me to go home without any opportunity to explain myself. It was disheartening, to say the least.
He's getting up there in age, so maybe his memory isn't what it used to be. Plus, you had that mask on, right? No wonder he didn't recognize you. But you know what? None of that really matters anymore. I'm done with him. I'm cutting all ties. We don't have to see or talk to him ever again.
You know what? I think that's the best decision we could make. And I gotta say, I'm seriously blown away by how you turned out to be such a compassionate person, considering he's your dad and all.
It's probably all thanks to your mom. She was truly an amazing person. It's just so unfortunate that she passed away at such a young age. I've made every effort to overcome such an immense loss, but it's still proving to be too overwhelming for me.
I am really thankful for your mother.
Yeah, I am as well. I miss her so much. I'm glad that you're here with me, Dean.
Hello? It's me, Natasha's father.
What's the matter? Do you have something to ask me?
It's just that I received a letter from her this morning. It said that she's cutting all ties with me and that your name is Dean Elliot.
I see. I had no idea that she sent a letter to you. That's very kind of her. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm going to get married to her regardless of what you said to me.
That doesn't really matter right now. Are you telling me that you're really Dean Elliot?
Yes, you're right. I am the person featured in the TV advertisements for Zenith Enterprises. I work as an actor.
Wow, I had no idea about that. It's quite surprising, to be honest. I'm curious, though, why didn't you mention it during our meeting the other day?
I was told to get out before we could even have a normal conversation. You just kept on spitting insult after insult. You probably weren't listening to a single word that I said anyway.
I'm sorry about how I treated you. I was probably having a very rough day.
Okay. Why did you decide to contact me? I don't particularly want to be talking to you. If you have nothing to say, then I'm going to put my phone down.
I want you to let me apologize to you. I had no idea you were Dean Elliot. I'm sorry for my attitude that day. I guess I was a little harsh on you.
I'm not going to forgive you even if you apologize to me. You were being overly aggressive and never gave me a chance. I'm never going to forget that. I could never say the things that you said to me, even to my worst enemy.
I'm very sorry for the things I said to you. I understand why you wouldn't want to forgive me. If I knew who you were, I never would have treated you that way.
I may be successful now. It still doesn't change the fact that I was born in a poor family and that I dropped out of high school. Everything that you said to me hit me where it hurts. Not to mention brought up painful memories. It's not something that I can just forget.
Wait, I didn't actually mean any of that. I didn't think you would take my words so seriously, to be honest.
Also, you never would have apologized if I wasn't Dean Elliot, right? You're only saying sorry after realizing who I am. There's just no way that I can forgive a person like you. Your apologies sound so empty to me. Do you really know what you did wrong?
Of course I know what I did wrong. I got a little too carried away because I didn't know who you were.
You really don't get it. You shouldn't be that aggressive no matter who you're talking to. It doesn't matter if you're talking to a famous actor or a high school dropout. You need to treat everyone with more respect.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
I know why you're apologizing to me. This is very bad for you and the company if it gets out. The CEO of a company shouldn't be calling the poster child a piece of trash. I'm sure you also falsely accused me of being a criminal? I wonder what would happen to you if the entire world found out about this.
Are you threatening me right now?
No, I wouldn't do such a thing. I have no intention of telling the world what you said to me. It's just that Natasha seemed very adamant on telling the world about everything. I did try to stop her, but I'm not sure it was enough. If I were you, I'd try to talk to her about it.
What are you saying? Is she trying to destroy my life?
Seems like she has a lot of hatred towards you. Now that she's cut ties with you, who knows what she might try to do.
That can't be good. I better talk to her right away. Hey, Natasha. I heard what's going on from Tom. I heard that you're planning to release my secrets to the world. Are you trying to destroy my life?
Yeah, it's really true. I've had to endure so much pain being raised by you. I also saw the text you sent to him. I was absolutely disgusted. How could you talk to people like that? I've already leaked all the screenshots and other things to the media. This is just a little revenge from me.
Wait, what? You're joking, right?
I'm not joking at all. I can't forgive you for what you did to us. I was just planning to cut ties with you, but that would be boring.
How dare you do such a thing? This is going to cause problems for so many people. Your stupid decision is going to make the value of my company's stock go down. All of my employees and the owners of my company's stock are really going to struggle.
I'm sorry, but I really don't care about that. I'm sure they'll all be fine in the end.
Please hold on a minute. Could you please rethink this? I need you to do something about this.
There's nothing I can do about it now. The information is already spreading around the internet. It's going to be all over the place by tomorrow.
My work phone won't stop ringing. I can't believe what you've done to me. Aren't you my daughter?
Yes, I am your daughter. I had to be the one to do this. No one else would be brave enough to stand up to you. You're going to have to resign from your position. That's the only way you can stop matters from getting worse. You need to give up and resign right now.
There is no way I'm resigning my position. That company is going nowhere without me. All the employees respect and looked up to me. What are they going to do without me leading them?
Wait, what? Do you really think they'll respect and look up to you? You're joking, right? All of your employees are over the moon about finding out what you did.
Wait, what?
Nobody at the company respects you. They were just scared of you and the power that you had. You would insult and threaten them all when they didn't listen to you. I also heard some bad rumors about you from the young women in the company.
That's because...
I've also been talking to some people that work for you, and I've heard some horrifying stories about you. I'm going to send all these stories to the media as well. That's about all I want to say to you, and I'm finally going to cut ties with you for real this time. Goodbye.
Wait, please don't go yet. I really will apologize for everything that I did. Please don't abandon me. We're family, aren't we? If you abandon me, I'll have no one else left.
I don't want to be a part of your family. You're a terrible human being.
I promise that I'll change myself. I plan to treat other people with respect from now on. I'm begging you to please come back and live with me.
I'm sorry, but that's never going to happen. I hate you as a person. And also, one more thing, you absolutely stink.
After his daughter severed all ties with him, he was forced to resign from his position at the company. It became inevitable once major news outlets began exposing his actions to the world. Recordings of his voice and stories detailing his mistreatment of employees were leaked, intensifying the situation. He quickly transformed into one of society's most despised people, making it highly unlikely for him to secure future employment. Moreover, he faced multiple lawsuits from former employees, citing harassment and sexual abuse among other grievances. The resulting damages he had to pay amounted to millions of dollars. Presently, he resides alone in his sprawling house, rarely venturing outside due to the constant harassment from people who taunt him about his foul reputation. It's become a sick game for some to capture his reactions and share them online. In contrast, I'm genuinely relieved that we chose to marry without his blessing. It was a wise decision to distance ourselves from that toxic influence.
Hey Marie, how are you? I saw that you were out all week. Where were you? Did you take a trip or something? I bet you took a trip with your family. Am I right? Where did you go, if I may ask? Was it overseas, maybe? Did you bring back any souvenirs? Oh, I wonder what it could be. Come on, Marie, where was your trip to? You can tell me. Oh, hello, Sandra. You're getting a bit ahead of yourself as usual. I just went with the family to visit my husband's parents over in Sanford, that's all, so no souvenirs, sorry. It was just your boring visit to Grandpa and Grandma's house. We just sat around at home and relaxed, not sightseeing or anything. Really not much to see around there except wheat fields. Oh, really? Oh, that's no fun. It's almost Thanksgiving weekend and you went to visit your grandparents, huh? Yeah, Thanksgiving weekend we plan to visit my folks over on the East Coast. It's a bit further, so we'll stay a little longer. It's a hassle because both of us want to stay longer. We have to share our time wisely. Oh, yeah. Hey, you said your husband lives over in Sanford, right? Isn't there a big amusement park over there? Yeah, but it's like an hour's drive over there, and I heard it gets pretty crowded on the weekends. I envy you so much. You get to go all over the place. I was thinking of taking the kids there, but my folks are pretty old. They would rather relax at home. We had neighbors over for a barbecue. That was about it. Oh, really? What a waste. I heard that place was really fun, like Disneyland. A real missed opportunity. You were all there. You really should have popped over and enjoyed yourselves. The kids would have had a blast. That's why you don't have any souvenirs, huh? What a bummer. I was expecting a little something. Oh well, you sure put a damper on that. Yeah, alright. Okay, no souvenir from me means nothing for you when I come back from my Hawaii vacation. Sorry. Now we're even, right? I was planning on buying a whole bunch of neat stuff. Oh well, you really missed out, Marie. You're taking a vacation? You're going to Hawaii? Yep, that's right. This is my first time, so I'm so excited. We're leaving tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Oh, I get it now. So this is what it's all about, huh? You just wanted to tell me? Of course I wanted to tell you. What do you mean by that anyway? Nothing. Wow, how nice. Oh, sorry, Sandra. I just remembered I have to get dinner ready for the kids. I really have to go. I'm so sorry to cut this short, but we'll talk again later, I promise. Talk to you again. Bye. Yeah, okay. Bye.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Hey, Sandra, are you there? Please reply. This is important. It's about your son, Kenny. He's sitting on your back porch crying his eyes out. I can see him from my kitchen window. What's going on? Did he lock himself out or something? Isn't anybody home? He seems so upset. It's getting really cold outside, so you better get him inside. I heard it was going to snow tonight. Are you even home, Sandra? I may have to go over there, you know. He's gonna freeze out there. You better get him inside right away. Huh? Relax, would you? What are you all upset about, Marie? Hey, Sandra, finally, it's freezing outside. I heard it's gonna snow later. Let him inside, the poor kid. Oh, you're talking about Kenny, right? Yeah, well, I left him out there on purpose. Pardon me? On purpose? What are you saying? What was I supposed to do? He was screaming and going on like a little monster. He insisted that I take him to Hawaii with me. Can you believe the little brat? I was going to be late catching the flight to Hawaii, so I had no other choice but to leave him out there on the porch. I mean, what else was I supposed to do, for God's sake? Anyways, I left him with that big down jacket. He'll be fine. Wait, are you saying you're not even home? Yeah, that's right. I'm in the airport limo now, heading to the airport. Almost at the terminal, as a matter of fact. But I suppose I kind of expected he would act this way. And I knew you would be in the kitchen and probably be looking toward our house right about this time. That's right, I've been monitoring you, Marie. The whole thing went just the way I planned. You planned this? What are you even talking about? I knew you'd be looking out your window. You always prepare lunch about now, and you have a clear view from that window. I knew you would see him. I had him wear that big red down jacket just in case. Worked, huh? So take care of Kenny for me while I enjoy some sun, would you? Sure would appreciate it. I'm going to be in Hawaii for a week, and I don't want to be bothered. I need some quiet time for myself with no interruptions. So I'm going to shut off my phone the whole time I'm here, just so you know. Okay then, I'm off to paradise. Take care of little Kenny for me while I'm gone, okay? Bye. Aloha. Hey, Sandra, don't know when you're going to see this since you said you were shutting off your phone. I've retrieved Kenny from the back porch and brought him over to our house. He was freezing, you know. That was no down jacket, just a red windbreaker. What were you thinking? He's fine now, but it could have been serious if I hadn't seen him. Reply when you see this, and I mean ASAP. No reply probably means your little vacation has started and you won't see this until next week. Probably sitting on the beach about now. But you're going to see this sooner or later. I can't just let you off the hook. It doesn't feel right to just let this go. So I'm going to leave a long message for you. What the hell is wrong with you, Sandra? I believe your husband is currently assigned overseas, right? He comes back once or twice a year or something? I remember you griping about that after our PTA meeting. You wouldn't shut up about it. Who the hell did you go to Hawaii with anyway? Was this one of those solo trips? I know it's just you and your son, but I really can't understand why you would leave your son all alone to go off to Hawaii for a week. And you leave your kid out on the porch in the freezing cold with only a thin windbreaker? How could you do that? What if I wasn't home that day? He would have been out there all night. This could have ended badly, you know? Did you even think that far? How can you even call yourself a mother? Are you just disguised as a mother, but in reality you're some evil monster? I talked to my husband about it, and he may be able to contact your husband overseas. When your husband returns, I'll return Kenny to his dad. So when you get back, contact him and work the rest out yourselves. That's all I have to say. Enjoy the rest of your vacation, Sandra. Looks like you haven't even turned your phone on yet. I guess you're keeping your word about no interruptions. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to give you a daily update about your husband. We contacted him last night, and apparently he hopped on a plane right away. He's scheduled to be back later this afternoon. Just so you know, I'll be over there when he arrives, and you can be sure I will tell him every last detail about this situation. Honestly speaking, what you did was totally inexcusable. And after I do that, We leave for my parents' home and won't be back for a few days. So even if you contact me about Kenny, I won't be able to help you out. You're just going to have to contact your husband and talk it over with him. Just don't rely on me to help. Oh, and one more thing. It seems you're not only ignoring my messages, but your husband's as well. But you know what, Sandra? Maybe people already know why you went to Hawaii. And maybe who you went with. Or maybe even details about this guy. Address and phone number, maybe? You may be pretty surprised how much everyone knows. I bet some preparations are being made. But what do I know, right? Anyways, have fun, and hope all this was worth it. Hello there, Marie. How was your week? I just arrived back from Hawaii. I had such a wonderful time. I brought so many souvenirs. The luggage weighs a ton. I'm glad I have rollers on this suitcase. Had the guy loaded onto the van and off again. I better give him a big tip when we arrive back at the house. Oh yeah, and how's little Kenny? Tell him I got him a super nice gift. He's going to love it. I really don't know how to thank you for taking care of my son this entire week. I hope he wasn't a burden on you. I'll stop by and pick him up after I return. But I have to tell you, Marie, it is so nice having such a considerate and useful person living right next door. I don't know what I would have done if you weren't here, Marie. Thanks so much for this. I hope I can count on you again in the future. I bet Kenny likes it over there. Maybe he doesn't even want to return. And I heard your cooking was pretty good too, always standing in the kitchen like a good housewife. Oh, I almost forgot. Remember when I said I would not get you a souvenir because of that last time? You remember that, right? Well, I'm keeping my word. No souvenir for you, Marie. Sorry, and eye for an eye, right? I wasn't expecting one, so don't worry about it. Oh, there you are, Marie. I was wondering when you were going to answer. You're acting a bit high and mighty. Do I sense a tinge of jealousy, perhaps? Just because you babysat my kid for a week, aren't you being a little lordy? Babysit? Your son's not over here. I'm not looking after him. Pardon me, are you saying he's not over there at your place? What I'm saying is that even if you come over now to pick him up, he's not here. Hold on a second. You saw him on the porch, then took him in, and you've been looking after him the whole week, right? I mean, come on, Marie. You found him sitting out there on the porch. And as you know, my husband is working overseas and only comes back once or twice a year. You're the one who found him, and you're supposed to be our neighbor, for God's sake. You have a responsibility to take care of him. I'm starting to see the picture. I figured as much. When you were in Hawaii, I sent a daily report of what was going on, but you had your phone shut off. And it seems you haven't even looked through your past messages. No, I never read past messages. What's that got to do with anything? I would just ask you to open up Line and check your messages for the past week, and you'll get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. If you take a good hard look at it, you'll see that it's probably not only me, but I'm guessing there are a bunch of messages from your husband and your parents. Yeah, well, it just seems like such a nuisance to have to answer back every time, so I just shut it off and enjoyed my time in Hawaii. You'd do the same. That's where you're wrong. I am way more responsible than you. You'd rather ignore all your messages and have a jolly old time than worry about your kid or your family. I hope all of it was worth it. What are you going on and on about? Was Kenny a pain in the butt or something? Don't take it out on me, Marie. Just look at your darn messages, would you? You'll know what I'm going on and on about. All right already, you don't have to get all irritated for Pete's sake. What the hell has gotten into you? What the hell is this, Marie? How the hell did this happen? How the hell did you get in touch with my husband? He's working overseas. Who told you his contact info? I certainly didn't. When you guys moved in next door, my husband was already assigned overseas. You only met him a handful of times. Did someone in the neighborhood tell you? I bet it was Miss Bennett down the street. She was always asking about my husband. Well, what you didn't know was that my husband had business dealings with your husband. They met on occasion. Business dealings? They worked together before? You never told me that. Yeah, there was some business project they worked on together about a year ago. He mentioned the company and where he was stationed, so it wasn't very hard to track him down. Are you serious? They know each other? Yep, I really thought you knew. Don't you guys talk much? Guess you figured nobody knew your husband, huh? That's why you felt safe about going to Hawaii all alone. Or was it? Anyway, your actions were despicable. You do realize that, don't you? Excuse me? How could you say that? Come on, Sandra, think about it. You put your own kid in danger. He could have frozen to death that day. What if I wasn't home and nobody found him? My God, I hate to even think about it. If someone had called the police, you could have been charged, you know? Did that thought ever cross your mind? Call the police? Are you serious? Why would anybody call the police? You make me sound like a criminal. You're lucky that there was no need for such a drastic measure. We took Kenny in, he was a bit shaken, but he was fine, and we were also able to contact your husband, so... But if the police were called, there could have been consequences. You could have been charged with a crime. To put a young child in danger like that? What were you thinking? You're kidding me, right? Oh yeah, and your husband? He said he was contemplating divorce. I would talk to him right away, Sandra. He was furious. That guy you went to Hawaii with? Yes, we all know all about this guy. Apparently, he's your boyfriend, wasn't he? The way I see it, I think you're going to have a pretty difficult time getting custody of Kenny. Sure looks like your husband holds all the winning cards. He wants a divorce and he wants custody? How was I supposed to know it would all get overblown like this? It was just a short little vacation for Pete's sake. What am I gonna do? Kind of late to be worrying about that, wouldn't you say? Hey, Marie, are you there? Please pick up. Where did my husband and Kenny go? You must know. You have to tell me. Come on. Are they at a neighbor's house? Down at Miss Bennett's place, maybe? Is that where they are? I just walked in the door and all our stuff is gone. The place is cleaned out. Where did they go? I went over to your place too and nobody's there either. Where is everyone, for God's sake? I asked Mrs. Simpson across the street and she wouldn't tell me anything. Just shrugged her shoulders. I bet she knows. Did you tell her to keep her mouth shut? I just found the divorce papers and photos showing us on the beach in Hawaii. Who took these photos anyway? Did my husband hire a private investigator? There's also a business card here for some divorce lawyer. Why? How did he find out? Why didn't you just look the other way, Marie? Not only that, my boyfriend contacted me. Apparently my husband called him and told him that I was married. He wasn't supposed to know. He just sent me a line. He wants nothing more to do with me. We had such a romantic time in Hawaii. He said he loved me, and then he drops me just like that? Was that all a lie? I can't believe this is happening to me. Where did it all go wrong? I don't want to split up with my husband. What am I going to do all alone from now on? I want my boyfriend back. After I got that line message, she evidently headed over to her parents' place, who live about an hour's drive away. I guess she's living with them now. After about a month, I heard that the divorce was finally settled. Just as I expected, her husband was granted full custody of Kenny, and she was obligated to pay a considerable amount as compensation. I also heard she had to pay the boyfriend a certain amount too. The poor guy thought she was single and was even thinking of marrying her down the line. I don't blame him for demanding compensation. With child support and compensation for both her husband and the boyfriend, I heard she was like $100,000 or more in debt. A neighbor who knows her pretty well told me that she's living with her folks and working every day to pay off that debt. At least she has somewhere to go. I bet her folks never expected to take care of their daughter again. She apparently regrets what she did and is trying to make up for it. And I suppose it's a little too late for that. Anyway, she won't be going on any vacations to Hawaii anytime soon.